All right, we got our guests ready, so let's bring in Curtis Danburg here after a quick word from Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work in taking pride in what you build and practicing every detail to get the best results, but no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier, and at Epicor, the all-stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices, from small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision. We'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way, because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most out of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners. Easier finds the lane. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. That is easierwithepicor.com. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome in Curtis Danburg to the show. The Guardians are taking on the Angels tonight on WKYC, and Curtis is here to help us preview the big contest. How you doing today, Curtis?
I'm doing great.
Welcome,
great to
brother.
be with you.
Hey, we're business partners again.
I know. It's awesome.
So our relationship with the Indians/Guardians went back
20 years.
20 years?
20 years.
And there was a moment this spring where I thought, what a shame. It's been great having the partnership where we air a number of regular season games on over-the-air free TV, which it seems to be a thing of the past, but might be a thing of the future, hopefully.
Yep.
And I had kind of, we did the gentleman's handshake. It's been fun. And then all of a sudden, I get this memo handed to me, and they said, this is going to go hot in a little while. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, this is a joke, right? I thought, it's today April 1st?
Yeah.
Because I think it was around April 1st. But boom, the Guardians and WKYC have a partnership. Explain to people that don't know what that means, what that entails.
Yeah, it was great to extend that partnership, like we said, so deep-rooted for so many years.
Yeah.
But we went through this whole new kind of approach to our TV situation, and we brought it in-house with Major League Baseball. We created CLEGuardians.tv, but it was an important element to maintain that over-the-air and that free TV component to this. So when we were able to get a deal done, enabled us to not only, we've been doing 2 games for many years recently, we're jumping to 10 games. So tonight is the debut of our simulcast that will extend throughout the whole season for 9 more games after tonight.
So it averages about almost 2 a month, right?
Yeah, in essence, a lot of Fridays, a few Tuesdays based on how the schedule's played out, but very excited. Mostly home games, but it's a great chance for people that aren't watching us the chance to see us. And
yes.
And that was the best part of CLEGuardians.tv. I mean, we were down to only like 30% of the market, even had the ability to watch us. So now you take away the blackouts, and we've been able to extend that and expand. I think it was going into the year, it was going to be over 230% increase.
No kidding.
Yes.
Well, the TV situation is so tricky, not just here locally with the Guardians, but the TV landscape in sports, even nationally, is changing rapidly.
Rapidly.
And you're going to see in a short period of time, and by short I mean 5 years, 5 to 10 years I think is the ultimate window. Everything's going to be streamed. All the sporting events are going to be streamed and likely team run. The reason I wanted to, and I'm sure you hear this every day from fans, but I have some friends that don't spend the money for the extra programming rights to get all the games. They just don't. But they love the Guardians and they love baseball. But they've told me, because I've asked many of them over the last month, has your interest waned in baseball over the years because of availability? And every single person, and I don't know what it is, 30, 40, they've all said the same thing. Well, naturally, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to watch them because I don't pay for the expensive upgrades on the cable. So I try to get to a game or two a year, but out of sight, out of mind. And Jason uses a term all the time talking about Browns fans and how the last 2-3 decades, or really, has washed a generation of fans out of the mix. Younger kids today don't look at the Browns the way we did because they're irrelevant. And you've been at the height of relevancy, but you haven't been front of mind on the air. How does the Guardians organization hope that this deal changes that moving forward? Because for some people, they now get at least 10 games a year.
Yeah, we see there's a huge upside. And the good news is we have seen attendance growth over the past few years despite that. So you put that in the kind of, we just finished our renovation, so now you're going to bring in new fans to the ballpark, but they're seeing it on a more regular basis. So we expect us to, I don't want to say skyrocket, but we're just going to see a climb because of that.
Good.
How do you think this is going to go? Jay mentioned the next 5-10 years. What What is this going to look like next year, 2 years, 3 years from now in terms of being able to see all the games?
I wish we had a crystal ball.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things coming. There's a lot of headwinds coming as it relates to the CBA and that being up in a couple of years. And as Jay said, there's so much change happening. It's going to look a lot different in the next 3 to 5 years.
It feels like Rob Manfred's ultimate vision here is for Major League Baseball and its teams to be the rights holders.
Yes, in a
Am I
perfect
right?
world. So we've went from
Why
3
why
to
would
6.
you bring in a middleman on your product?
Right. But there's a lot of reasons why that's difficult to do, especially in big markets. And
Well, it used to be distribution, right?
Right.
But that hurdle, you guys are knocking that hurdle down.
Yes.
This is the one question I really wanted to ask you, because
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a buddy of mine a couple days ago who's in rights acquisition. And I told him, I had asked him the question. He goes, that's a great question. I don't know, but the people I ask all have different answers. Are you guys a bit of a barrier breaker? And are you along with other teams that have done this, are you guys more the model of the future, where the team has everything in-house, there's no middleman, sports channel or Bally's or anything else, it's all controlled by either Major League Baseball or the team? Is that where we're going?
I hope that's the case. And we are an early adopter. So we're one of 6 teams that
Yeah.
are in this MLB model. And we've seen that, and we had left a lot of money on the table to do this.
Right.
Because
it's a long play, right? Financially
it's a long,
for you guys.
100% is a long play.
Yeah. I'll throw this out there just because I don't know if it was discussed internally or not, but when I was in my college years, I was writing a paper. Essentially, it was my thesis, my graduation thesis paper, and I wanted to do sports, the number of games that are broadcast on TV, and how that impacts a team's local attendance. And I couldn't find anybody that had really done anything like that. And then I came across a Ted Turner study. Ted Turner was a visionary in broadcast media. We were having a conversation. Today is the anniversary of Dennis Eckersley's no-hitter, May 31st, 1977. That game was not on television. And we had a group conversation in our chat where our coordinating producer texted, "Did you guys watch it?" And I immediately fired back, "No one did. Wasn't on TV." That was a different time. Ted Turner wisely said, and the reason they were 40 games on a year or whatever the number was for each team was because they were afraid it was going to hurt the gate.
Right.
Well, if you only can see it in person, then you're going to come to the game and that will help attendance. And Ted Turner did a study, and it was a real life study. He just said, I'm going to put every single game on Channel 17 in Atlanta, which became WTBS, and it became the Superstation. He launched a satellite, and he showed all the games nationally on TV. And the thinking was, it's going to kill the gate. Who is going to want to come out on a Wednesday evening and watch the Braves play the Cardinals when they can sit at home and watch it on TV? Well, he found what you just talked about on the long play. He found what they did is they built a legion of fans, not just in Atlanta or Cobb County or Georgia, but they had them in San Diego and New York and everywhere in between, because their product was available every single game.
I was a big Dale Murphy fan because of that.
I
had a
was
Dale
too.
Murphy glove.
I used to watch the Braves games.
Yeah.
I love Dale Murphy.
Get home from school and the game's on.
And those teams were great.
And they come on at 8:15, and it was weird. It was strange. I'm like, Dad, how come the Braves play every game on TV and the Cubs? I watched WGN.
Well, the Cubs had GN, and that was a Superstation.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the start time. That was funny too, because Ted Turner, again, a visionary, decided that all TV shows start at 8:30, 9 and Ted Turner, when he was programming his Superstation, said, no, 8:05. What?
That's weird.
Because once I've got you for 1/2 hour, there's nothing you can flip to at 8:35 that's just starting. I've got you for the night. The guy was brilliant when it came to TV programming.
I'm trying to listen. We didn't got to all the business, but I got to ask you a question. This might not even be appropriate.
Oh boy!
But I've been saying.
How about that
She's known
setup?
for that.
Hey, look. Hey, Steve at home, like, oh my gosh, what's in that cup? Look, I'm a gear guy. I got to see the gear. I've been noticing, Curtis. I've been at the malls. I've been around places. I'm starting to see the resurgence of Chief Wahoo. I see some more hats. I'm like, where these come from? This is a sanctioned store. This is lids. This is there something brewing with this, or is it going away? How is that possible? Because I'm seeing them.
So it is not. I mean, Chief Wahoo is not
Chief
coming
is dead.
back.
Yeah.
But we didn't get rid of the Chief Wahoo. We'll still allow fans to come to the ballpark and wear that gear. So
Well, I would hope so.
It's still part of our history. So that was an important element. Like, if you get rid of all merchandise, then you lose the trademark rights. So
okay.
there's an element of that from that. But there was
It's
a
nostalgia
fictitious
to me.
story when we were in D.C. playing the Nationals that somebody just threw out there
saw
that we
that.
were having conversations. That was
Yeah.
there was no
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
media tie-in at all.
Yeah.
Just somebody threw it out there and ran with it. But yeah, no, we're the Guardians.
Yeah, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon. I mean, who knows? You can't predict who owns the team 20, 30 years from now, what the temperature in the room might be at that point. But yeah, every indication is
And we've
Chief
had a lot
is
of
dead
success
and
with
buried.
it. And again, that's not to disparage, and we certainly, again, the Chief and the Indians, an important part of our history. But we've seen attendance growth, and we've it's been about Cleveland.
Yeah.
Is where the name came from.
The stadium looks awesome.
Yes.
What part of the renovations do you like the best, and what is still to come?
What's still to come? We're pretty much done,
Okay.
except for we just have the last phase of the seats going from from green to blue in the corners. The clubhouse is ridiculous, but for me, the terrace hall. So this is the 4th floor of the old Terrace Club. We elevated the ceiling. It's open to everybody that comes into the ballpark.
That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, and it's phenomenal. If you have, we just sold out the June ballpark pass, so those are gone. But if you have a ballpark pass, or if you want to go up there, it's a great place to hang. You're undercover. You've got 2 bars. You've got great food. They've got a fried bologna sandwich in there. You've got Reuben rolls from Gunselman's. Like, it's a great setup.
We've
that's
talked
been
about
my favorite.
You and I talked about it before. It is probably the best view, is it not?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, you got that kind of, you're at an angle, especially on the edge.
Yeah.
And the fact that
look
it's
right
open
in.
to everybody now.
It's open to
How many
everybody.
does it hold? Is there a cutoff if you don't get in?
There
at a
is.
certain
I mean, I
time?
think it's like 400, 500 people.
Okay.
But now we have an escalator, so anybody comes in through the Meyer Gate in left field, you go escalator, you go past the KeyBank North Coast Social. You need a special ticket for that. Take the escalator one more thing, and you're in the terrace hall. It's awesome.
It is incredible. We had a conversation yesterday on Channel 3, Nick Camino and I did, and it was interesting because I agreed with his premise. His general premise is that a lot of fans right now feel like the team's misfiring, not playing great baseball. And Nick and I were actually in agreement on something. I said, wait a minute, let's just take the most recent sample size. And I know that the 6th game out is what makes it feel like that, especially when you're comparing it to last year where it was wire to wire and there was never any, it was, that's not a fun season. I don't like where we are now. I like where we were better last year. But at least this season, everything seems to have meaning and drama. But my point to Nick was, okay, let's just take the last 7 games. Because a lot of fans are saying, oh, they're not playing well, even right now. Despite the fact that they took the first 3 from Detroit in a huge series at Detroit, and then they lost 3 in a row. But I said, if you just look at it in a 7-game stretch, you played the best team in the American League, the best team in the National League, in a 7-game series, and you won the series.
Yeah. Right.
You took 4 of 7. That's a World Series. And these are World Series caliber teams. So why does it feel, though, that something is not exactly right?
Yeah, I think we've gone through that gauntlet, but we're waiting on the hope. And again, Shane Bieber, Trevor Stephan, we've got a lot of, we probably won't see John Means for a while, but we have some injuries that we've had to overcome. But look at what Jose Ramirez has done. Quan should be back in the lineup today.
Yeah, what was
we're
the
5
issue
games
with
over
his
500.
wrist?
Wrist.
Is he okay?
Yeah,
Good.
he's okay. He should be back in the lineup. But we're right there. We're in the top wild card spot, and we haven't, to your point, we haven't played our best baseball.
Right. And boy, you play. It's been.
But we've had some big
schedule.
wins. That win on Wednesday was
big,
huge,
massive.
Nobody saw that coming.
I'm going to ask you a question that's really not fair to be asked of you. This is a vote question, or Antonetti, or Cherney, or somebody other than you. But we're going to talk about it in our TV show. It's just been a mystery to me at what's going on in the 2-hole. Before the season started, when it was floated that we're going to try Hosey in the 2-hole, I came on here the next day and I'm like, what? No. That means he's got 8, 9, and 1 in front of him. And 8 and 9 are going to make outs more often than not, and you can pitch around Quan, and if you got a bag open, you can pitch around Hosey because, it just didn't make sense to me. And it's culminated with what we saw, and I know it was a short sample size, but putting Bo Naylor in the 2-hole, when they did it, I'm like, are they drawing out of a hat? it seems to me Angel Martinez is the perfect two-hole hitter. He's the guy that had the big hit on Wednesday. Any indication? Is this going to be a season-long tinker? I thought they got it right
As
with
you
Matt
said
Martinez.
at the outset, I'm not the guy to answer
I know you're not. I want some insight, though. I need insight.
But, we're always looking at the numbers and trying new things and see what sticks. But Angel, I mean, voters said it, he has that slow heartbeat. And that was a big hit the other day.
That was massive.
Yeah.
But up to that point, he'd really been struggling.
I mean, I think his body. If you can put, if your two hitter can hit 270 with just a little bit of pop, I just need somebody to get on base. I can't have a 200 hitter. I don't understand what Bo Naylor did. We're going to talk about that in the TV show. I don't know if that was like he won the contest and he gets to hit in the 2-hole for the. And I don't mean to be overly critical. I'm just being a fan, and that's what fans do.
JB, a fan?
I know. I'm emotional. Listen,
You're emotional? I didn't know
often
that.
say on this show, I'd be the worst general manager because I would fire and hire guys on 2 or 3 games.
When I have to sit here with both of these guys,
He's the Duke of knee-jerk.
Yeah, the Duke of knee-jerk.
And my heart beats outside my body.
Well, we're going to get to
We
that.
love the passion.
I got to ask
Oh,
you-
I have the passion.
Oh, I'm well aware.
I got to ask Curtis, we talk about it all the time because we talk about all 3 teams. And I compare it to like siblings, right? And, there's the middle child, and then there's the youngest child, and then there's the big brother that can do no wrong. And we already know the big brother be messing up a lot of times in the city. Do you guys feel like from a marketing standpoint, you get a fair shake from the fans? Because right now, I'm just, in the backdrop is, we're giving the Cavs hell right now. The Cavs is catching it. They're catching it right now. But do you feel like sometimes you feel like you and the Cavs, you guys don't get the benefit of the doubt from the fans sometimes?
Fair shake from the fans or the media?
Oh,
Listen,
I like
we
that.
can't ask him to criticize the fans.
Right.
That would be cutting off
the
your-
media. Let's get
But
to the media guys.
Listen, this is a great opportunity. We did
Right.
this once. We did this
Right.
once on First Take, where Chris Carter had mentioned something about how all media members that never played the sport need to shut up. And it turned into a 2-day debate between he and Skip Bayless.
I just watched that.
And it's up on YouTube. It's got millions of views. I had a front row seat. It was fascinating. Let's sort of do that here. We have thick skin.
Can I give you my take?
Yes, we want.
My take is this. It drives us nuts on why the media and the fans want to pit us against each other.
I don't understand that either.
That's my biggest push is all the time, and you hear sports talk and everything, everybody wants to pit us against. We are all from the same city. We're the same team. Like, we are at our best and we drive attendance when all 3 teams are doing well. I don't want the Browns to not do well and the Cavs for the betterment of us. We want all 3 teams to do well, and it drives me nuts when everybody wants to say to pit us against each other.
And that's fair. That's a fair criticism. Jay, you can weigh in on this. As a member of the media, I will tell you that there is that natural inclination to compare. We do it all the time on this show. Compare what the Guardians do compared to what the Cavs do compared to what the Browns do.
But to be devil's advocate, I think they do it a little bit too because we understand in this market you're fighting for
limited
eyeballs,
entertainment dollars.
and you're fighting for those dollars. So if you got a family that's going to say, all right, I'm gonna go to one sporting event this year. All 3 teams are competing to see which one of those dollars, those limited dollars, it goes to. So it's not it's kind of a competitive thing because you want your product to shine, right? Yeah. You want to be saying, hey, come on out, we got the best product.
Curtis, I was working in Columbus when it was announced that the Blue Jackets were coming to town, and I have to tell you, I had never, and I was young. I'd only been in the business a handful of years. I wasn't yet 30, and I remember thinking to myself, at the reaction of the university, grown adults, the athletic director at the time, other people in athletics, were losing their minds and actually working behind the scenes to keep that from ever happening. They didn't want a pro sports team in Columbus. Okay, why? Because it's a Buckeye town. They own it. They don't want the competition. And I'm watching this going, wow, I can't believe what this grown-ass man is doing and how he's maneuvering and politicking and actually trying to hurt the city by keeping a pro sports team from coming to town. And it was fascinating for me to watch. And then I asked somebody in athletics who was not the athletic director but was way up the food chain, why? And they said, if I throw $1 in the middle of the room and there's one person to get it, I know where it's going. If I throw $1 in the middle of the room and there's 2 people that are going to dive on it, I might get lucky and get 50 cents. And I'm like, you guys are the Ohio State University. Understand your place in the pecking order. It is and will always be. And that city now loves the Blue Jackets. This was 30 years ago. Go do a poll in Columbus and ask them, Crew, Blue Jackets, or Buckeyes, who do you have? That will never be a dilemma. They're not going to get 100% of the dollars like they used to, but you can only fit 100,000 people in the stadium. I never understood their pettiness in that argument. And for the Browns, they're always going to be what the Buckeyes are in Columbus to a lesser extent, because obviously the Cavs and the Guardians are bigger than the Crew and the Blue Jackets in Columbus. But there's enough for everybody to eat. And I appreciate that criticism because I do think it's fair. I don't understand it. I've said on the show oftentimes, I don't understand. Well, I feel like we have a divided fan base. We oftentimes, it doesn't matter what the subject is. We've seen it 8, 10, 12 times. Oftentimes it's over a player, but sometimes it's over teams. We can fight and scream and yell and pull each other's hair out. I just look at us like, guys, to quote the Cavs catchphrase, all in here. Let's just all support all of them, and let's root for the betterment of the team. But it just doesn't seem to go that way.
Here's what I'll say on the whole thing. I think Cleveland is very fortunate to have 3 pro sports teams.
Very.
If you,
100%.
I don't know. You might know this. I don't know, but I think I'm right. If you look at the wealth, for lack of a better term, of Cleveland, to have 3 teams, it's probably the poorest city in America to have 3 teams.
I would imagine
it's in the bottom.
It's the smallest
sector.
TV market to have 3 teams.
There you go. That's probably a better way to say it.
Detroit has 4. The interesting thing about Detroit and Cleveland, we are both diminishing population cities. The population of the United States constantly shifts, but there's a noticeable shift over the last 30 years from Rust Belt to Sun Belt. The amazing thing to me, Jay, is that even at a time of expansion, you've got teams, and I'll just throw out a couple. Nashville is I believe, the largest growing city in the United States of America. They would die for a Major League Baseball team.
Oh, they're going to get one.
Yeah.
But
just a matter of when.
Vegas, now they're in the market. Charlotte. There are
Portland.
a lot of other teams that are in the South. I'm surprised that Orlando has been stuck at 1 because Orlando's got a booming population base.
Florida's not a good sports.
No, because it's transient and they're from everywhere.
Yeah.
I worked in Tampa and I learned that firsthand. They're not. When you go to Rays games, the sellouts or the bigger crowds would be the Yankees and the Red Sox, and everybody would come down.
I just hope fans appreciate having 3 teams, because I've said that before. We
are lucky.
It is very rare. This should be a 2-sport town. Honestly, if you want to be real about it.
If you look at our population as it stands today,
we're very fortunate to have 3 teams here,
and it's going to stay that way. Correct?
Yes. I mean, all better.
Long term,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Better.
You know something I don't?
No.
Are you the longest tenured employee?
No,
of the Guardians?
Bobby D.
Oh, Bobby D. That's right. Oh, I'm sorry,
Bobby's
Bobby.
season 46, 47 in baseball.
That's
We
insane.
have Sarah Lurkey, Wendy Hoppel are 41.
But he left for a time.
He left for a year to the Braves.
to the Braves.
Yeah.
and
Oddly
learned from
enough.
Ted Turner for
Yes.
one season.
Yes. But so you might be the longest. No, because he came back before
Bart
you
Swain,
started.
even. Bart's
ahead of
This
you.
is season 30 for me, and he's season 34, I believe. So
listen,
That's
I've
great,
said
man.
this
It's a
before.
good run.
I've told you and
love
I have
it.
had this conversation. I've written this. I've said this. The Guardians are the model of stability in
1,000%.
this town.
Yes.
And if you want a team that is run the right way, I'm not just saying it because you're sitting here. We've said
don't
it.
pit us against each other.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm just saying. Like, there are teams who are emotional and erratic, and they're making changes constantly. And there are teams that have stability, and the Guardians do it in a stable way where it allows you to build something and grow. And that's why you've been able to hold on to Chris Antonetti and Mike
Yeah.
Chernoff and all these guys.
That's
That's why
it.
Tito
goes
was
to
here as
ownership.
long as he was.
We
Yeah.
love working for the Dolan family. They let us do our jobs. They give us all the resources we need.
Yep.
It's not an even playing field, and that's a topic for a
Boy,
different
that
day.
was
But
that was obvious in the Dodgers series. I think their payroll is
Yeah.
$400 million. And the Guardians, is it at 100 million? I don't know.
man.
But, I mean, when you're looking at a team, that's not a level playing field. That's baseball's fault. I don't blame anybody. I mean, yeah, the Guardians could spend more money. There should be a cap on what the Dodgers can spend. But that's a baseball problem. They're
That'll be talked about here in the next
markets.
few years.
And you know what? The last question, and we'll kiss you goodbye on this. In this next agreement, which is 2 years away or
2.
Okay. In this next agreement, what are the chances that disparity gets addressed?
That's the $1 million question.
Is it going to be a front of mind issue, or is everybody happy with it because when you get the Dodgers and the Yankees in the World Series, everybody wins?
I don't know. That, like I said, that's the $1 million question, and I think there's been so much disparity in the past couple of years, and if you do see a Yankees-Dodgers, it's going to tell that story even more.
Yeah.
They got military budgets. That's crazy.
It is insane. It's not fair.
Trillions.
If you're going to have a team in the same league, you should be spending around the same amount of money. It'd be like in football if Ohio State got 200 scholarships, but someone else in the Big Ten got 50. That's just not going to work. All right, Curtis, have fun tonight.
Yes.
I know you do every night at the ballpark.
Giving away this shirt tonight.
Is that the giveaway?
Tonight, free shirt Friday. We got fireworks. We got $1 dogs. We got the $2 beers pregame in the district. And then Tanner Bybee bobblehead tomorrow and our first Kids Fun Day on Sunday.
I should know this because I sit next to Betsy Kling for an hour every day on the air. Are we okay weather-wise tonight?
Yeah, I think we're good. Betsy's going to be down live in the field with Nick Camino. So I think like later this evening is when we might see some rain showers. So optimistic, cautiously optimistic. There's the good Guards ball.
Very good.
There you go.
All right, Curtis, great. Thanks for stopping by.
Come down to the ballpark.
We appreciate it. Yeah, head
Go
on down
Guards.
there and watch Jose Ramirez try to extend his hitting streak to 22.
He's at 21, right?
He's at 21. That's one of the
He's on
longest
a
they've had in
roll.
a while. Yeah,
his
he's on a
longest
roll.
career high.
When he got that second and third hit Wednesday, I'm like, come on, save some of those for Friday and Saturday. You just got to spread them out, man. Don't get them all in one night.
Keep on rolling.
All right, Curtis, thanks, man.
Thank you.
And if
Appreciate
you're not
it.
at the ballpark, make sure you're watching KYC because that is where the game will be broadcast tonight. That was Curtis Danburg of the Cleveland Guardians. We appreciate Curtis for coming in. He's always welcome here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.